All praises to the Most High. Shalom, beloved brothers. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good to be here. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, all right. Well, let's do this. Shalom. Welcome, brethren. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, beloved. As the nation already know, we are going to study Aries, the principle of Aries. Full disclosure and full disclaimer. Please give me a one if you can hear me and see me. If you're not about this stuff, it would be best if you leave because we are getting into territories that are quite unusual. Forbidden terraces, forbidden place. That's where we are penetrated. We are studying. We are learning things we didn't know. Okay, so far so good. Everything we are learning right now. It's quite well with us. Now, beloved, we had already studied Virgo, we studied Libra, we studied Scorpio, we had studied Aquarius, we had studied Capricorn, and we had studied Pisces yesterday. So we need to go into Aries, Taurus, Gemini, I believe Cancer, Leo, and what come after Leo? Oh, Sagittarius. What's come after Leo? I'm not quite sure what come after Leo. The sixth house. We need to study until the sixth house. Oh, Virgo. Virgo come after Leo. Then we'll stop at Leo. Then yeah, we'll stop at Leo. All right. Then we already studied Virgo. We'll stop at Leo. Okay, we got five more houses to go. All right, we'll start at we'll stop at Leo. All right, beloved. Now, again, for those of you who are wondering what book is this, it's called The Practice of Magical Evocation by Franz Bardon. Okay, Franz Bardon, he wrote all those three books. So this is his first book over here, Initiation into Hermetics. That's the first book. All right. They are meat, they are bones, and these books is pretty much, if you know how to read those books, you will find nothing but meat. All right, and then the last book he wrote is the key of the true Kabbalah. Okay, so this is the book that you should read first, but what the hell, who are we to tell you what to do? You can read any of them. Okay, you're just studying, that's all. We're just studying and sharing knowledge. I share something with you and you share something with me. Now, in the meantime, we are waiting for the nation to get there. Somebody sent me a video, I believe Sister Litz. Okay, blessing Brother Rasta. The beloved sister sent me a link to one of those. Let me see if I can play it for the nation. It's somewhat graphic by by Gentile standards. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a young woman, and somewhere in Ukraine, she was walking around. She was walking around listening to music, and then a missile hit right behind her. All right, and she run. And this was posted by let me see, by some camp fellows. Those are camp Negroes, I believe. I see some camp Negroes, some of the some of those camp that always attacking people, and now those guys, they, you see, this is what I despise with people. I despise when somebody was saying something forever and all of a sudden nobody clarify anything, they just jump on board. Oh, coming to America, numbers 35, 30, 33. uh um uh uh don't get realer than that. Phew, shalom. Those are the guys that say these things are real now. They are the one that keep saying, "Oh, well, that's like they all say this is fake." The elite, the elite is doing this because they're trying to bring Jacob's trouble, and all of a sudden it can get more real than that. Coming to America, these things are getting real for Esau. God hate Esau. Wait, you guys were the people that keep bringing that fear on our brethren, and then all of a sudden now it's real, and then nobody's saying, and nobody, you know what? They really don't want to say anything about Jake right now. Is either you see those guys are doing TikTok or somebody on TikTok. You have no idea. You have no idea who those people are. Some random white woman. And anyway, let me show you. Let me show you. Oh boy. All right.
We're following breaking news in LA, where Nuri Martinez has just resigned her post as LA City Council president. Welcome to CBS 2 News at 11 and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Serene Branson. Martinez's announcement comes on the heels of a bombshell recording of racist remarks that's sending shockwaves through the community this morning. The racially charged comments were recorded and then leaked online. We have team coverage. Tina Patel has the latest reaction and protest, but we begin with Cara Finstrom, who's live for us at City Hall. Cara, major developments this morning.
Serena, as you mentioned, she is resigning from the presidency, but she is not giving up her seat on LA City Council entirely. It appears she still plans to be a part of that. This, though, likely just the start of the fallout. That leaked recording involves 3 different council members and some troubling exchanges. That's part of the shocking audio recording of Council President Nuri Martinez reportedly having a conversation with council members Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo, along with LA Labor Federation President Ron Herrera. Knock LA posted the just leaked audio. It's unknown who recorded the conversation filled with crude language we had to bleep and racially charged slurs and statements. White guy. Some of the most sensitive comments are about Councilman Mike Bonin's 2-year-old son. Martinez suggests the child was acting inappropriately during the Kingdom Day parade and then calls him a little monkey in Spanish. I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back. There's nothing you can do to control him. Councilman Bonin immediately expressed anger and disgust, saying Martinez attacked his son with horrific racist slurs and calling for her removal from office. Martinez has apologized, saying in a moment of intense frustration and anger, I let the situation get the best of me, and I hold myself accountable. For that, I am sorry. The LA Times also reports De Leon referred to Bonin as a 4th black member of the city council. And De Leon, who's also now facing calls for his resignation, released a statement saying comments made in the context of the meeting were wholly inappropriate, that he regrets appearing to condone and even contribute to certain insensitive comments made about a colleague and his family. Also recorded, Council member Gil Cedillo speaking about Koreatown. Yeah, let's go Koreatown. Yes. I see a lot of little short, dark people. Yeah, puro Oaxacan Koreans. Not even like him, little ones. Cedillo's response, that he failed in holding others and himself to the highest standard.
So people are surprised. People are. I'm shocked. Now you got two cowboy men. They adopt a little black boy, and they are shocked that they brought this kid to this multicultural. We keep telling people whenever you have multicultural, I don't know, black and brown, we are always the target. That's all those people do, Bridget. People are like, we are always in the mind. It's just 24. It's a sickness, Bridget. It's a sickness. Those people were supposed to love those like Nogahites, but they flip around. Everything they are dealing with. The moment this thing get frustrated, I'm gonna go after blacks. I can't pay my rent. It's because of them Negroes in the hood. My wife left me. My husband is cheating on me. Oh, in the moment of the frustration, that's why it is those people literally will tell you, always be around me when I'm happy. When I'm happy, I'm not frustrated. There is no heat. I love you, black folks. I love you, people, the children of the mighty one. But the moment I can't pay my rent, issues happening and stuff like, oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna come after you. And now you got two cowboy white men adopted a little black boy, and they are shocked that they brought it around. People that should be treating this kid like a king, they are the one bad mouthing. And this is what happened to the children those people adopted, man. This is the kind of horror they are suffering. And then she claiming like, oh, this kid was misbehaving. And a parade of children are running around and playing. They have to target it our children. Our children are the one that always why they are happy running around here. Let's go after them. Let me take this kid around, and show him around and do stuff. That's what they are doing. And people like shout out, oh my God, you're supposed to be our brethren and sister and stuff. No, everybody freaking hate us. They hate our guts. It's something that is in the mind 24/7. And the truth is being exposed. And really, I really don't care about that. It's like, we knew those things happen. They expose you or in the heat of the moment. What heat of the moment? You were laughing. We heard your voice cackling, laughing. Heat of the moment. You were angry. You were happy. Bridget, people, that's what those folks do behind closed door. They just, whatever they are dealing with, they never want to deal with. The easiest thing the easiest thing to do is come after our people. But anyway, man, things like that, they won't change. They won't change. And people are wondering why those things are happening. Now, an account of what happened over there in Ukraine, and a lot of camps are now bringing the war in the forefront. They are not bringing the war because it's happening for the sake of Esau's trouble. They are bringing it and say, okay, look what's gonna happen here over here to our people, as if we do not have anyone over there in Europe. The camp, they are like, I despise people like that. I despise when somebody is gang ho about something for their whole life, and then the complete opposite happen, and then they act like they never said one word about that. And then they quickly ally themselves what they were speaking against. Oh, yeah, yes. Oh, man, that's happened. I'm so happy. Well, you spent your entire life putting our people, keep them in a low vibration. Even though they walk around, they see things are different. Things are changing. You told them that if they don't join your camp, especially you women out there, oh, you women better watch out. The rape gonna go. You might as well come to us so we can rape you first before you go out there. You're gonna get raped. Oh, the black woman gonna get raped, man. That's how those guys talk. Instead of putting our brethren, our sister out there at peace, they are putting fear on those people so they can run to them, and then so they can prove themselves. Well, my camp and my group is like, we're all right. We're gonna the chariot gonna come over there and take us out of here. And now all of a sudden those guys are like, oh yeah, man, hey, Vladimir is doing his thing, and things are not going too well with Esau. There's there is that thing over there. The hurricane. There is a group of those fellows. They literally have Orlando in their mind, in their name. Their name is Orlando something. You know how those guys give names like, oh, Florida, this group guy standing strong, New York. So everything they're doing, they put the name of their. They don't worry about the most. They put the name of their group first. Where I learned this truth. You learn this truth. So you guys, we are the only people with this truth. Well, everything that you've been teaching is a bunch of fear mongering and lies. Those guys are in Orlando. Those are the Orlando people. Orlando. So they those guys act like they act like nothing happened there. It's just they act like they're in another world. It's just nothing happened. They just pop up in front of you. See how people come. I'm not even in the path of this thing. Everybody like, believe, are you okay and stuff? We know this thing is over there. That's how they're asking those guys. None of them saying anything. You see how those people never appropriate or attribute those things to prophecy? They just sit there and act like those things just happen for the sake of happening, or they are fake, or I don't know, man. It's just like I don't know. It's not happening to Hish. You know, Hish been very quiet. Ish been very, very quiet. You don't hear that much of news about Ish. And the last day, Ish was supposed to be in the front of this. Everything was supposed to happen up over there. The missile was supposed to hit there. People was nobody saying anything about Ish. Nobody saying anything. You know what's going on over there in the Middle East? Anybody? Oh, I don't have the water. Oops, I got a little. Anybody aware of what's going on over there in the Middle East and Iran, so to speak? Anybody know what's going on in Iran? Give me a moment. Anybody aware? Anybody know what's going on in Iran right now? I'll show you, and then we will begin. I'm out of water. All right, then. Our brethren don't know what's going on in Iran. This is what's going on in Iran right now. Instead of those things. All right, this is what's going on in Iran. You see it, brethren. And those people are not calling this out. They act like nothing going on over there.
دختر جوانی در گذشت، خب حادثه تلخی بود، دل ما هم سوخت، ولی واکنش به این حادثه بدون اینکه تحقیقی شده باشه، بدون اینکه
well, anyway, let me tell you exactly what's going on. You see, this is the type of garbage that those people trying to implement it on our women. A young woman out there, she was walking around, she had one of those hijab over her head, and something happened, the wind blew the hijab and her hair got exposed, and then they took her, they killed her for that. They arrested her. She was in the and the she was in the she was in the custody of the police, and something happened. They find her dead. They do that all the time. If they even see certain women, if you didn't show your face over there, they kill you. They will literally get. There was a news that I was reading back in 2005. They caught two women. Well, they were talking. They were walking along. They were talking. They surgically removed their head. That happened in Indonesia. They put them in anesthesia and they cut off their heads, and they just assumed they were lovers because they were alone talking. That's based on their religion practices and stuff, and those are the garbage that camp are pushing, or the people are pushing to our women, because that's according to the law. There is no such thing. You won't find. There's no book that was written by holy men that even touch on this subject. Those are man-made Gentile stuff. Okay. All right, this woman was she wear this thing inappropriately. Anytime you wear it, you show your hair or you show a little body part. That's all. They're gonna kill you. And this is the type of law those guys want to implement it here. Okay. And the women over there, they chased one of those. What you saw in the beginning was a professor, one of those teacher at the school, and they just chased this guy around the women because they were pissed off about it. Okay, those are the men that have a complete hatred for women. You know what happened over there? You really don't. I told you. Anybody remember? Man, I can't. Let me bring that right quick. Anybody remember the story that we brought about the Ishmaelite fellow that I was working with? He was living in the country like this. He could not get any cookie because the cookie is so difficult to get there without you bring a bunch of stuff for marriage and all that. And he died here. Okay, that guy, he died here. The guy died miserably, man. He was one of those 45, 46-year-old incel guy, man. He finally got a girlfriend. His best friend took his wife from him, man. He just smoked. He didn't eat. He just lie on the bed, and then he died right there, man. Without anything. He just died. So a country like this, or the country like where women are extremely difficult, it's like to get a woman, you need to either force your way or have a lot of money. A lot of those guys, since back then, okay, they never really could get women. They get with other men. It's not like they are cowboy though, but it's the frustration. It's the frustration. They are cookie frustrated and they get with other men. And then this man will take this to his grave and the other man will take this to grave. One of those guys wrote a book about this. They say this thing is more prevalent over there than over here. Exit sign entry is more prevalent in the so-called Middle East, and it is between men and women, because when they check the woman for virginity, they want to make sure they don't check the front door, they don't check the back door, they check the front. So if the front is intact, it's good. That thing is prevalent over there. It's very prevalent. A bunch of dudes, and then they go up, they resent it, they hate it, they angry. Some of those men never had anything. We told people, if a man, you are a man or a woman, if you are sexually frustrated, you can be in the midst of us here, and you will cause a lot of things. They can't get this thing because of their law they brought over here, which has nothing to do with religious. You would not find one religion around the world that prohibited any men and women to get together. It's man-made thing. Angry men that could not get it when they were young, and then they become rich. They like, only rich guy can get it now. Only rich guy. If you ain't got no boat, no car, no yacht, no camels, you ain't gonna get this. And then they make those laws to make themselves feel better. They're like, yeah, look at me now, Nigo. Remember high school? Yeah. They will make laws. and then those men are suffering because of something that is naturally they supposed to be done. If you don't do this, it will morph into a demon, and you will do certain things, dog, that like you won't even believe. Cowboyism is much more. It's very under wrap. Okay, some of you might remember there was a documentary that came in the late 2000s. It's called the Iranian Boys. What was the name of it? Pakistan Boys, something Iranian Boys or Pakistan Boys. And anybody remember this? Where they have the document that a bunch of little boys, they were they were they become showgirls, young men, they dress like women because it become women has become something like some it was some kind of disgusting thing. If they see a woman, they have to beat her, burn her and stuff like that. They literally adopted the mindset of those cowboy, and then the dancing boys, something like that. The dancing boys, terrible things, man. I read and watched some testimony, man. I'm like, wow. And those are the same type of garbage those camps, those church, those groups want to adapt and bring to our people. This is the same of garbage, like, oh, Big Levi, we need to tell our women to do this, to do that. Dude, I'm like, you when you are reading letters from our people, the way our women were dressing in back then, and things they used to do. Yeah, they got in Thailand, they got lady boys, which something that it's in the it's in the Thai culture, lady boys. It's well known. They out there. It's well known. And this is the type of garbage and people want to implement it in our community so we can. I already told anyone, if you're a man, you're sexually frustrated, I can deal with you. If you're a woman, the same thing. Dancing boy of Afghanistan, thank you. That's what it is. Okay, you would have thought like country like that will hate those things, and when you see those, you're like, what the hell is dancing boys? You will have rich men, very powerful rich men, paying to get those boys in the house and do stuff. No different for the Pope. That's what those Gentiles do. This is not our culture. Beloved, thank you for being here. And now we are going to study the practice of magical evocation, page page 172, Aries. Now, again, just a fair warning, if you're not about that life, it would be best if you leave, because this thing is loaded with things, amazing things that are forbidden to us. Okay, those are the type of things they don't want our people to study. They are saying stay away from this stuff. Okay, and they are saying stay away from this stuff, and they are telling you to get involved with whatever that's going on in Iran over there. Go get involved with it. Oh, solidarity with Iran and stuff, but don't study. All right. This is the 30 principle of Aries. Now, the seals that this principle must be drawn in red. So when they say the seal again, this is 125. Oh crap! Give me a second. Okay. When they say the seal, they mean this. Give me a one if you can see them. All right. If those are for Aries, you have to draw them in red, because I'm assuming because the Aries is Aries is ruled by Madim. Aries don't play that. Okay. The number one, that's like my favorite one. Number one, Morek. Morek is so cool, man. When I was reading Morek, I'm like, wow, this dude is cool. All right. Let's begin. So that's what they meant. You can just draw them the way they are. You can put them in the pentacle. You can do whatever you want with them. Morek, first degree Aries. This intelligence is quiet, active, and impulsive, and distinguishes itself through extraordinary acuity. Somebody define acuity. Acuit. He is highly erudite or erudite. Somebody described erudite. He is highly erudite. Not only can he instruct the student in general knowledge, but above all, he can also disclose to him excellent methods which he can favorably influence his memory and increase and increase his intuitive abilities. Besides that, Morek can influentially assist the student with inventions of every kind. Morek controls the fire element. So this is one of the principles that control the fire elements. Now, we know according to the universal law of so-called magic, there's four elements. There's fire, water, earth, and air. As long as you got those four elements on earth or anywhere in any universes, there is magic, there is energy flowing, there is you cannot die. Life cannot extinguish as long as you get the soul element. Okay, the word acuity is defined as a keenness or sensory perception, as hearing or perceptive of mind. Okay, Morek can make you super sharp when thinking. You could become super sharp, like extremely sharp, intelligent. That's what he can make you. Okay, he's a king of acuity or whatever that is. Okay, all right. He's one of the principle of fire, because of course he reside in in Aries, and you got some in Aries that like water. Okay, I believe. Okay, erudite, extensive knowledge acquired chiefly from books, profound recondite of bookish learning. He can make you a super nerd, like a super nerd. You can be super smart. Everything in books you want to know, this is your guy, you can know it. Though, no, through which he can achieve, okay, yeah, Morek controls the fire element, through which he can achieve tremendous effect. That means Morek can give you fire bending or fire, what we call them, fire wielding abilities. Tremendous effect with fire. You can use this fire to open portals, to heal people, to destroy, to construct, to fly, to do all sort of things. You can use the fire as a shield. You can use this fire as a language to talk to dragon. You can use this fire to pretty much do anything. You can breathe the fire. That's how the thing he can show you how to do. Okay. All right. Morek controls the fire element, through it can achieve tremendous effects. Morek can answer all question on the subject of electricity, be they electrotechnical or electrophysical. Furthermore, he can give the student information regards to astral or mental electricity, which concern the electrical fluid and how to be applied in magical operation. So you are dealing with certain principles that deal with electricity. Of course, Christians, anything that has to do with electricity or anything that has to do with technology has to be the devil come up. The devil come with this. The devil come with that. Everything of the stars are demonic. The skies are demonic. And then you never study those things and come to find out that those things, the mighty one created them for our amusement, for our use. Okay, that's what Morek can do. A cool guy, man. 2, Malaka or Malasha. Malaka, 2 degrees Aries. Malaka has the same ability as Morek and is able to cause the same effects. In addition to that, this intelligence teaches the student how to move about or behave in the kingdom of the salamanders, and how he can employ or work with the energies or power of fire in a various planes. So the kingdom of the salamander is the kingdom of fire. Okay, anybody can name all the kingdom and their inhabitants. Okay, fire is salamander, water is what else again? Earth is what? Air is what? They pretty much they pretty much have like man, this is kind of like too common. They got other names that are unique. Okay, fairy is air. Okay, that's the kingdom. This is, if you believe in those things, they sounds weird. This is their domains. That's the word I'm looking for. It's their domain. Okay, thank you, brother Ehud. All right. Fire is salamander, air is fairy, and earth is something else, and water is something else. All right. Furthermore, the student can learn from Malacca by which manner he can achieve particular states of trance through the fire element. If it is the student's wish, Malacca himself will load the vaults of the elements for him for specific purposes and then transfer them into the Akasha principle of the zone girdling the earth. These vaults will then call forth effects of the physical world. If the student finds it desirable, Malacca will gladly place at his disposal suitable spiritual familiaries, which are highly active magically and which have high magical abilities. So, Malacca, what he can do, if you wish him, he can let you bow his assistants, his subordinates, his people, his employees, and they will be at your side, whatever, whenever you want to do something that related to, things like that. They will just do it for you. He will let you bow, his employees, and you can go around and do anything that you want, and then you return them whenever you feel. For instance, you already know one day for those guys is 1,000 years for us. They can let you bow their subordinate for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes is like 500. I don't know, 50 years or 5 years or 15 minutes or 1 hour. 1 hour is like 400. 1 hour is 400 years. They let you bow one of the. You need those things for 1 hour, man. Like why? Who spent 400 years using fire? You won't need it. But anyway, I don't know. I should like to mention that I know from my own experience that Malacca can give the student excellent advice in alchemy. For instance, he can provide the student with the primer material for the preparation of the grain elixir for the dry process, so that if you're an alchemist, you should know what they are talking about, okay? The primer material for the dry process. Okay, there's a dry process, the wet process, there's many processes, but the primer material, he can provide it for you if you're into alchemy. All right, the primer material for the preparation of the grain elixir for the dry process. When the student comes in contact with Malacca or Malasha, this intelligence also entrusts him with many other things. So those guys, they have wisdom and knowledge that are beyond anything. And Solomon knew all of this, okay? All right. I believe the water, Melfolk, earth, Nom, the elves, and the water, also known as the Udine, Udine. Okay, the Udine, they live in the water. So, in the book, the book of the Old One, which is one of my favorite book, it mainly deals with the principalities, with the intelligence and principles that are in the water. Certain being that were there during Atlantis that used to serve the Atlantean when we were in Atlantis, and those beings are just there and they are waiting on command. They just don't do anything. They just sit there. Most of the stuff that the Mighty One have out there for us to use cannot be used because they are waiting on the owners. They are waiting on the proper people to come and tell them what to do. So far as the negative beings that are around and wrecking stuff and do stuff at this point. Okay. Number 3, Ekdulon. Ekdulon, 3 degrees of Aries. Ekdulon can initiate the student into love magic. At the magician request, Ekdulon exchanges animosity for friendship and secures the good graces of very important people of high places for students. Now, when they say those guys can do magic stuff for love, this is love, brothers. Mainly, when we taught by the Gentiles, love always have to be fleshly. Love is just when somebody truly care about you, somebody truly show you great affection by action. That's true love, man. When somebody really care about you, that person will do anything for you. Okay? When you are a student, wherever you want to go, you want love to be there. When you get there, even though somebody hate your guts, that person will show you love. Even though a group of people hate your guts, the moment you get there, they will just bow down and show respect and love. That's what those things are there for. And when you truly love something, you cherish it. You don't hurt it. If you love food, you don't take the food, you throw it out. You love drinking, you don't take the drink and throw it out. You love breathing, you cherish it. You breathe, you eat, you love it. It is always good to have first thing above all love in the midst. You must love what you're doing, what you're studying, the people that you're around. If you don't love them, you're pretending. Oh, I love you guys. You guys study things. I love you people. That's not good. That's why a lot of people are being exposed because I love my brother, I love this, and a few moments later they attack the same person. They say they love them, they do this, they do. Love is extremely powerful. Do you know the other beings don't have love for us? Their love is actually for destruction. Some even the worst scum out there, they love doing scumbag stuff to other people. Without love, it makes no complete chaos, complete confusion and madness. Love doesn't have to be always fleshly. Yes, flesh is good, but it's just a love, it's just an appreciation. I love watching movies, I love reading, I love listening to music, I love eating, I love talking, debating and stuff. I love walking and running and stuff. I just love it. Yes, love make everything better. It's a word we should not be ashamed of expressing love for certain things that we love doing. Okay. This intelligence has the ability to load magic mirror with the fluid of the particular element for specific purposes. For example, a magic mirror which is loaded by the intelligence allows the student to see the kingdom of the salamander and many more things along this line. So this guy can help you make those magic mirror. You can see the kingdom of the salamander. For instance, you see how you just sit in front of your TV watching me? You can sit in front of your mirror and watching everything that's going on in the salamander kingdom, aka the fire kingdom. You can watch in other kingdom. Those guys, they have the technology, the ability to give you to build a mirror that you can watch Madim, what's going on in Madim right now, or what's happening on the 28th moon station of Levana Heights, what's going on in Kokav, what's the Kokavites are doing over there, the Noga Heights. You can watch it as you're watching TV, but you need to be a high initiate fellow. Okay, those guys, they don't. Of course, you need to be one of our people. That's all. All right. Since this principal is well versed in all magical ritual, he is therefore qualified to give the students various specific hints and evocative magic. Okay, Lurky, fourth degrees Aries. Lurky can be most helpful in all affair of heart. Okay, Murky is like a heart doctor. Okay, he's really good in all affair of heart. Lurky can secure the magician livelihood, and if it is deemed necessary, he then allows the student to become wealthy by either showing him ways to achieve by either showing him ways and means to achieve this by achieving it directly through his subordinates. So what this guy not only is good with heart, anything, any issue, any secrets you want to know of the heart, the organ, the heart, also he can make you wealthy either through you, he make you achieve it, or he send his subordinate to work for you. All right. Now, many people like say, okay, well, this is good. He know things. Remember, that guy know everything about heart, and that's what they tell you. They tell you he know everything about heart. So now, if let's say you have a heart disease, or you know someone that had a heart disease, or you are curious about heart, and you contact this guy, he gives you the secret for healing. It's the same thing. Some people want to be wicked. They contact this guy, and then they have somebody that break their heart, and they want to do something. They want to break that person's heart too, but literally, physically, and reality. And it will tell you. He'll warn you though. Say, there's great karma come upon you. Most people would say, I don't give a crap because they are angry. They don't know that what karma has serious consequences. I don't give a crap. Give me the way. And they use it on that person. That person is dead. And then when they go to the Akasha world, in the spiritual world, and then when they get there and they're going to check their good deeds, when they cannot find nothing but they cannot find good deeds, they find a deed that you did with the heart, and they're going to put you to certain things you will wish you never get there, man. Brothers, there's a kingdom called the kingdom of fire, man, salamander, man. There's kingdom of water. Can you imagine being drowned for over 400-500 years, but you can't die? You just can't breathe either. Can you imagine being inside of a giant frying pan and oil burning? So you can get out. Your skin, eternal torment. You there in there forever because of something that you did. You thought it was you were so angry. You did it by jealousy. For instance, that woman that we watched in the beginning, if she had the opportunity to harm that black kid or that black child, she would have done it. Some people, they just harm people because I don't like, you were misbehaving, I'm going to kill you. And they're like, I don't give a crap. I don't care. There are serious consequences, man. Aspadit, fifth, Aries. Aspadit is very pleasant intelligence. And if the student so desire, this intelligence will arrange that the student has good luck in games, gambling, competitions, contests, betting, etc. Manual skill is one of his profession. And the arts, etc., can also be achieved with Aspadit help. So if you're a professional gambler, or if you like to play games and betting and all that stuff, Aspadit is your guy. You know, Aspadit can competition basketball. If you're good at basketball, Aspadit is this dude, you know, that can help you doing those things. Brethren, back then, gambling was, our ancestors were massive gamblers. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Judah was that guy. Judah drinks. He gamble all the time. He fight all the time. Yeah, our ancestors do this because it was, brethren, just like what our people are doing right now. Certain one of us, we can deal with certain stress, but certain one of us, we need something to take our mind away from those things. Knowing that, you know, people are always after you, trying to kill you. Everywhere that you go, people just hate your guts, not because that they hate you because you did something to them. They hate you because of who you are, and better yet, for you will be in the future. Okay, you got people that go to the casino all the time, scratch off tickets and all that. I recently received a testimony from a brother that worked to one of those gas stations. He worked with his grandson, and then the grandson is a child. He just woke up, and then he touched one of those scratch tickets, and then he touched it. He said this, and then the dude don't play. He bought it for $10, and then he went in the car, scratched it, $500. Dude say the Anana, he said it's on the website, should be on the testimony should be on the website. I didn't post it on the community post because some of our people, they won't see the opening. They will bring their Christian garbage and then they won't see what happened. They said, yo, this thing really working, the Anana, the prayers and the principle, everything they work. You see, if the Most High put things for luck in games, gambling, competitions, contests, betting, and those things are out there. There are things out there for those things. It depends on you, whatever you want to do. All right. Nas 6, Aries. Nas, this intelligence helps the student on the road to literary talent, or the student is given methods which we can develop this talent easily and quickly. And of course, this intelligence can be very helpful in literatures and the arts. Now, you see, the most I like arts, man. He like the earth is like his art. The most I make this earth, okay? This guy can help you in any talent that you have, any talent you want to develop. You want to develop a talent as a musician, as a singer, as an artist, things that you love and stuff. This guy can literally show you how to do this. Again, once you become an inside temple, and you will see, like, man, I had like $20,000, $30,000 worth of student loan for something that I could learn in a fraction of a second. You just go ahead to one of those things that if you can, though, and then they just download this information and you instantly, you just know it. Okay, you just know it. That's how those things can do. That's depend on you. Apollogon 7, Aries. This principle is a guardian of magical secrets, and he can entrust the student with many magical practices, rituals, etc., for his personal use. Besides which, he can give the students an information on how to contact the beings of the moon sphere easily. The beings of the moon sphere are incredibly hard to contact because they don't deal with everybody. Okay, they are being on the moon sphere. They are being that girdling the moon. Okay, just like those are the one girdling the earth. They are one girdling the moon. Plus, the moon has 28 stations in it. Super high technology, man. That's what this guy said. He said, you really don't want to discuss this thing with people that they are immature, because they will ridicule you because they can't see it. But the moment they can see it, everybody, Amen, can you take me? If you can see those things, you can go there. You don't want to stay here. You think if a Gentiles can go to the moon, he would have stayed here? If you think like this guy went to Noga, if you think if those Gentiles could go to Noga, they would have stayed here. They would have go hang out with those silver surfers people. Remember the Noga Heights, with the way he described it, said their skins are like silver. If you can escape this hellhole they call Earth, you will just go somewhere there's no suffering. The technology is out there. You just live among them forever. They can't. You're stuck here, sir. Again, Apollogon 7, Aries. This let me see, the moon sphere. All right, the sphere, the moon sphere easily. Once contact with Apollogon has been established, the student, with the help of Apollogon or his subordinate, can travel through the moon sphere and establish contact with the beings there in a very specific manner. So Apollogon is the guy that take care of the contact with the being that's all on the moon. That's, if you believe in those things, if you're interested in what's going on up there in the moon, the being that live there, of course, if something live there, they should, if they are being, they are alive, they must have some type of things they consume for energy, or they should draw something from energy, whether it's water, food, plants, it's all up there. Gentiles don't want to prove those things to you because you will ask questions. They want to show you that we are alone, and not only we are all alone, they rule this planet. They created everything. Okay. Oops. Give me a second. All right. Apollogon teach how to practice moon magic. All right. And the spirits in the moon sphere, and how to accomplish various effects directly in the moon sphere, or he can have the beings or that sphere bring about effects in our physical world. All right. Ramara 8th, Aries. Ramara is an outstanding master of magic. As such, he can teach the student how to acquire special magical abilities through appropriate methods, predominantly ritual and magical formulas, and then make use of them accordingly. Okay. Anamil, 9th, Aries. This intelligence has control over the electromagnetic fluid Anamil teaches the student how to load electromagnetic volts for particular purposes. Should the magician desire it, Anamil will form these volts himself and transfer them into the Akasha principle and release the effect either in the mental, astral, or physical sphere. In the zone girdling the earth, there is not one problem which Anamil cannot solve. The magician can also can ask this intelligence any question. He will receive the answer momentarily through inspiration. It's inspiration. So whatever you want to know, you ask this dude, you will get the answer instantly. 10. Aries, Tabori. Tabori, this intelligence can give the student insight into the profound secrets of the water element and its analogy. Now, you got a being that are in a firehouse that gives you knowledge about water. Okay, Tabori, if you want to know anything in the water, if your element is water, and you want to know certain secrets in water, because the Gentiles, they always make it seem like they know all, and they know everything. We already discover everything. All the invention already been invented. You don't need to worry about stuff. Just we will tell you when there's it available, when there's a place open. Tabori, all right. And pertaining to that, Tabori points out all magical practices and methods on how the student can carry out various effects on himself and other people through the magnetic fluid of water. Should the student make the request, Tabori will bring about the effects himself or through his subordinates. The magician also receive special instruction from Tabori, for example, how to contact the beings of the water element without any effort on his part, and how he can associate it with them without exposing himself to danger. Okay, there is always some type of danger when you try to contact the being that inhabited the four element, because you yourself are not from there. Okay, let's say if you want to contact the Leviathan, like we told you, the Leviathan is a very intelligent being, smarter than all human on earth put the wits together. The Leviathan is 1,000,000 times smarter than that. And there are other beings that are not too friendly that live in the water. Let's say you say, I want to see the Leviathan and ask him some question. Tabori will help you with that. Job saw the Leviathan, most likely Tabori took him over there. Job asked question. There are certain book. I mean, Job was a blessed guy. The only book he wrote was, of course, Job wrote according to the book, the fire, the pillar of fire. Job wrote the book of Genesis. Okay, Job wrote the book of creation. Can you imagine Job witnessing everything? He has to get angels travel in time, showing him everything. Okay, Job was the one who. Moses wrote the book of Job. Job wrote the book of Genesis. So that's according to things we study. All right. If you know something else, that's what you know. We're not gonna argue with it because the information is all over. But Job was the one who saw the creation, how the mighty one created everything. And then he wrote the book of Genesis all the way. He saw Judah and everything that happened with Abraham and all that. And Job was a very wise man. All right. So he must have gained contact with all those things that were showing him and how to do those things. Yet you don't. Man, my nose just keeps stuffing. Give me a second. All right. So Job, and you won't find any more books except for the book of Genesis about Job, because yes, Bell Driver, of course. You won't find anything else about Job. The most important story about Job, he had faith. He was like a rich man, and then the Most High came in and destroy everything. Now you comprehend why Job was very firm in the Most High, because he knew the Mighty One will redeem him. He knew the Mighty One will literally make everything right. He didn't really care about what he lost, what he had lost, because he told you, Job told you in the beginning that his children were wicked. Okay, when you are, it's sad, brothers. When you are a man servant of the Lord or a handmaid of the Lord, you serve the Lord, you do everything right, but your children completely do something different. And Job, there's nothing Job can do. He just left them. He taught them how to do things properly, but they choose to do things wickedly. And Job just tell them, just leave them. Job showed them how to worship the Most High, live according to the Lord. Don't do anything illicit. But Job's children didn't care about that. And you see how they were. They were very proud. Okay. They were very abusive. They were very narcissistic. Okay. His family, his own wife, yeah, his wife wanted to curse the Most High because they were all about that money. Okay, so, and Job just stepped back. He like, yo, there's nothing I can do. I teach you the right thing, you do the wrong, then you will get the result for the wrong. So the Most High had to kill all of them, and then he gave Job very good kids, 10 times more wealth and stuff like that, because Job sees some stuff, man. Job sees some stuff. All right, his friend. There's no, brothers, the moment you reach, you will find a lot of people, they are not your friend, man. They are not your friend. That is good. It is good for you. Boy, this is going to come out wrong. But it is good for you when you are poor. And one way you will see who are your true friend. Once you get rich, you will see a bunch of people you don't know, people past life, a bunch of people just, your phone been ringing. People are like, hey, calling you, man, I'm a fan of your work. I don't even know this guy. Everybody wants some of your buzz, but the moment you start losing that money, people stay away from you, man. They stay away from you, okay? All right, that's what Tabori can do. All right. Upon Tabori command, the student will have at his disposal the most beautiful undying as servants. You heard that? Upon Tabori's command, the student will have the most beautiful undying at his service. You know what that means, brothers? Let me read it to you. This is cool. Upon Tabori's command, the student will have at his disposal the most beautiful undyings as servants. The most beautiful undines are servant. If you know who the undines were, you will know, damn, Tabor is, wow, that's impressive right there. The undines, the undines or the undines or what you're calling the being that live in the waters, okay? The human-like beings that live in the waters. Sometimes they got the bottom of a fish. Sometimes they don't look quiet. So Christopher Columbus saw 3 of them. He's like, whoa, what the hell? That's what they are, but they don't look that anyway. So, because we had those things guarding our shore. We just tell them, any boats that get here, do what you do the best. Give them a warning, them, sing them away. But if they keep forcing their way in, do as you they are quote unquote lunch. Anyway, so all right. Taboris can give you the undines as servants, the most beautiful undines as servants. And this guy, he had a thing for undines, okay? He has a story where he explained how he know dudes that literally live with one of those things. Okay? This being come from the water, came in the mist, look like one of a regular woman, but it is not. Okay, there's somebody in the chart that just pop up that says something. She has a story where she saw one of those beings, and she was the only one that could see it, and it was in a marketplace, and she saw this really weird, tall black woman with red hair. Her hair was so red, like blood red. dread, blood red. It wasn't like, it was like a luminescent red. And she looked very weird. The way she stained, the way she was walking looked completely unnatural. You like, that person is either faking her walk, or is like, why are you walking like this? Is it some kind of like, yay, I got legs now, I can walk on them? That's how it looked like. And that person staying over there and watching this thing, and then that person come up and say, who are you? You look weird and stuff. And then he told the person, I am this, I am that. I'm just coming here to have to just see what you people are doing here. All right. All right then. Anyway, the student will find out from this intelligence how storm spirit can be calm, how thunderstorm can be stopped, and how raging ocean can be calm. So if you learn from Tabori, you can find out how to calm down the storm, calm down the wave of the ocean. You don't need to build no freaking up. You don't need to build some CERN or whatever. You can literally tell the spirits in the storm, come down, like Moses did. Moses literally come up and then he put his hand. The first time that Moses' first miracle was calm the sea and calm the thunder. And they were about to worship Moses like a god. They were about to, that guy with the freaking, always with the goat with him, or sheep walking around, just in case something like that happened, so he can sacrifice it. 11, Igigi. Igigi, Aries. This principle teaches the student how to gain power over human beings and animals. He also teaches the student how to dynamically charge magical formula so that they have especially strong effect. By Bialod or Bahelod 12, Aries. From this intelligence, the students learns how to obtain respect as a magical authority. He also learns how to use the powers of the earth zone whenever he acquires them. And furthermore, the methods of changing base metal into precious ones. So these entities can show you how to change base metal into precious one. You say one word, this turn into gold. He can teach you how to do this. Remember, Abraham was a master alchemist, man. That's what this guy can show you. Transmutation, that's the words. Base metal, he can also learn how to use the power of the earth zone whenever it requires them. And furthermore, the method of changing base metal into precious one. A student who has an especially great disposition and respect to magic can make this intelligence carry out the transmutation of metals for him. By air load, also acquaints the student with sun magic. Powerful, brethren. Sun magic is very powerful. Woo! Sun magic. For instance, the student learns how to consciously utilize the power of the sun on the magical and physical basic and the mental, astral, and physical plane. If you're a Shemashite, this guy, you want to see him. Furthermore, the student can learn how to protect himself from negative influence of the sun sphere while in a mental travel. So all of them, they have negative and positive. You are the one that's supposed to navigate between the negative and the positive. Recognize the negative beings and the positive being. And the negative influences, they will influence you. All right? The sun is loaded with spirit, man. You got people, for a lack of a better term, you got people living inside of this sun. Powerful, man. Wow. There's civilization in there. Wow. Beautiful. But to the unlearned, it's impossible because the sun is why? Too hot. Oh, man, this is good. Opilon 13. Opilon himself can help the student to succeed in all undertakings, or this can be accomplished through Opilon servants. This intelligence can instruct the student on any branch of sciences or of our physical work, can also bestow his knowledge upon the magician. J. Rocco J. Rockwell, 14, Aries. This intelligence itself can also be assistance to the student in all his undertakings of the physical world, or else through his subordinates. If the student so wishes, J. Rockwell has the ability to make him eloquent and quick-witted, and he can also will teach him how to call forth his ability within himself and others through the Akasha principle. So J. Rockwell is that guy. Wherever you are going, he will be there with you, and then he will make you super smart. And then when you're talking, people will like listen. They're like, man, this guy is smart. If anything happened to you, Jericho will defend you. If you need anything, they will do it. And the book, The Black Pullet, man, I love that book, man. In the book, The Black Pullet, this guy have pretty much all the rings that the old man give him, and he have like unlimited amount of slaves. Well, he called them servants, unlimited amount of servants. They cook for him, they clean his house, they pretty much did everything for them. And they look like real people, but they're not. When you go to this guy's house, you see a butler, he look like a regular butler, but he isn't. People cleaning his home, they are doing the gardens, they are doing the plants, they are going around doing the lawn, and then they're fixing stuff. They look like people, but they are subordinates. And then one word he said, they all disappear. And then when he need them again, he called them. Beautiful, man. You know, sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, are those things really, really real? If they are, why can't the Gentiles access them like that? Because they can't. It's not for them. That would be a double blessing, you know that? If the Gentiles can actually do this, that would be them having us as servants, and then can have those things as servants again. That would be a double blessing. They can't. Golog, 15, Aries. This principle is well versed in all branches of our earthly sciences, and there's actually no problem which he cannot solve. Golog is regarded as a great philosopher, and he can make the synthesis of philosophy understandable to the student through intuition and inspiration. Argilo, 16. Argilo, Aries, the principle gives the student advice and support of the mental, astral, and physical plane in matters of friendship and affair and of the heart. The student can realize all his wishes and his respect through this principle. Barnell, 17. Aries. Barnell, like Argilo, is well versed in the art of the love or matters of the heart, and has expertise in excellent practices which the favor of good grace, of friend and foe, of both gender can be obtained. Barnell gives the student specific instruction and methods in sympathetic magic. This principle places good being from his own region at the disposal of the student. And it can also make it possible for the student to establish contact with individual being of the air with otherwise certain shyness of the earth, making any contact with them very difficult. Yes, the air spirits are quite difficult to contact, just like the moon sphere. So now you got a being that is in the fire kingdom. Aries can give you knowledge to contact the being that are in the air kingdom. All right. The air kingdom are quite difficult to deal with. For instance, when I was studying with the masters, and they did I saw one of them did something, and I asked him, "Why did you do that, master?" And he said, "Well, this spirit is come from the air. If you put this thing on the ground, it won't come. It won't get it. So you have to suspend it on the tree. You have to put it on the tree." And that's when I come up with my backward method of purifying things 7 times in the four kingdom, in the 4 element. You put it 7 days on the tree, so the wind would purify it. You put it you buried it 7 days under the earth, so the earth will purify it. And then you put it 7 days underwater in the river or in a lake for the water to purify it. And then you put it 7 days next to a lamp or some kind of like candle for the fire to purify it. So now this thing has all the 4 elements in it. Whatever this thing that are coming against you, if it coming by air, you will be defended. If it coming by water, you will be defended. If it coming by earth, you will be defended. If you're coming by fire, you will be stuff. But I could have just used 1 element for like 1 day. I went way overboard, and the experiment was too powerful. When I had it in the house, we had to leave it outside, and the effect was so strong it started to affect the neighborhood. So I had to throw it very, very far away. And the master like, what the hell are you doing, man? That was too extreme. You don't need to do all this nonsense. And I learned now you only need to put them for like a day in each. It was too powerful, man. Yeah, I put so much stuff, and I didn't realize what I had to repeat. I'm like, man, I could have really hurt someone with this thing. When I made the experiment, I'm like, I could have really hurt someone. This thing was way too powerful, man. The energy was too much, and I had to dispose it. I had to release everything. A sister, she actually pretty much did the same thing that I did. I shouldn't have to tell her, and I did. She did it. She like, yo, this I'm having issue here, and I said, okay, well, you have to dispose it, return them where they came from. Yeah, I always trying to do extra. It was too much, man. I put it like that thing spent 21 days purifying. Each day's brothers, it's just so much energy because you tell them, you say, hey, purify this for me, and then you say it for 7 days. You could have just leave that thing there for a few hours, it's done. That thing spent 7 days supercharging in 4 elements. And then I could have barely, when I bought this thing I barely could even bought it in the house. I bought it outside, and the energy was too powerful. People start getting dizzy. People fell, and I'm like, whoa, this thing is too powerful. Let me undo it. And I had to properly dispose it. And I'm like, oof, I'll never do this again. So I believe and I was doing, I was crazy. And when I was doing this thing, I did it with the moon. It went with the moon when the moon was going toward this full moon, and this thing was super mega charged. And I believe the one that supercharges was the air. And that's when I understand that the master said the air spirit, they cannot learn. They won't learn anyway, because air don't do too well with earth. They are the exact opposite of earth. They won't land. It seems like they learn. If they land, they'll die. So they always stay in the air. If you cannot put it in the air, they won't come. And then the master said, and I put this thing on a tree. It's just like everything. It was too much. I overdone it. So no more. Okay, that's what Barnell does. All right. Barnell is also well versed in music. And if the student wishes, Barnell will inspire him with composition of music, provide his interest such. You're a musician, a composer, Barnell is there. It will help. You do your thing. That's just knowledge that, San Polo 18. Oh, man. Excuse me. All right, then. San Polo 18 Aries. With the help of this intelligence, the student can rather quickly develop his talents for languages. Okay, if you're interested in languages, San Polo is your guy. San Polo helps to improve the student's status and life and gives him method and direction which he can practically utilize the magnetic powers in accordance with his sphere of activity. It means you can float, you can run, you can travel to the ley line and stuff like that. San Polo is your guy. Iris 19, Aries. Aries is a master of water magic. Again, another being in the fire realm that teach you about water magic. The magician learns from this principle how to utilize the power of energies of water in regard to the element that the magnetic fluid and how to effective with these powers. Iris can disclose to the student many ways of influencing the physical plane through the element of water. Besides that, he can entrust the student with specific instruction and secrets from the kingdom of the Undines. Now, Iris, there's a video we had uploaded in our channel where a brother, it seems to be one of those folks, one of those African brother, he had a Moses staff, so to speak, in his hand. He was pushing the water away. He literally tell the water, back up, back up, back up. The video is on our channel. I'm not making this up. He said, back up, back up, back up. The water receded. The water receded. The river receded, receded. And then he said, come back, come back. And then the water reappear. The water reappear. Now you understand this guy is a high initiate fellow. Remember the old druids, man, that take the trees when that guy stole the phone? He take the branch, he say, hey, dis-moi la vérité. He say, tell me the truth. Who stole the phone? If Jake stole the phone, grab the chair and stand with it. And then he tried to grab the chair didn't grab. When they get to Moses, Moses was just sitting there and he said, if Moses stole the cell phone, grab the chair and pick it up. And then the plates just grab the chair, pick it up. And then they say, Moses, you stole this. And Moses like, hey man, I didn't take anything. Not the real Moses version. That wasn't the real Moses. That's a dude named Moses. And Moses said, you know what? I'm out of here, man. And then Moses opened the door. Moses out. He never see. He took the phone out. The phone was in his pocket. Okay? Because those guys, they are high initiated. They know secrets that we don't know. All right? So Iris can teach you about water. All right? Ahadu 20, Aries. Not only Ahadu well versed in water magic, for some reason there's a lot of water in Aries, but anyway, not only Ahadu is well versed in water magic, he can also give the student various instructions on account on his particular attributes, on how to prepare liquid fluid, condensers, in particular how to load the magnetic fluid. Ahadu is quite well liked in the kingdom of the Undines. For instance, in the element of water, should it be the student's wish, the principal can send him as many male and female servants from the kingdom of the water element as he requires for his fulfillment of his wish. So Ahadu can send you any male or female from the Undine kingdom. Okay, he will send it to you. They will serve you whenever you want them to go home. You just go home. There's a story that oh man, I would never reach this level, this climax in my mind, this apex in my mind. When I was a young boy, I used to have wild imagination. I can't believe I created a whole universe. And there's in one of those stories, there is one of those species. They can live 6 months on Earth and they can live 6 months in the water. If they live on Earth too long, they'll die. If they live on the water too long, they'll die. And then now I'm understanding, like, maybe I've seen those things somewhere or somehow. Maybe I witnessed them somewhere. To me, it looks like some kind of thing that I imagined, but it was too vivid. Till now, I'm like, I would never be able to do those things again. Well, thank God I wrote like 80% of it down, 20% still in my head. Yeah. It could be suppressed memory, because the way that I remember it now, I'm reading those things, they start to make sense to me. Okay? So, crazy. Oomonas 21, Aries. 21 degrees of Aries. Oomonas acquaints the students with the various laws, powers, and effects of the zone girdling the earth. The magician learns from Oomonas how to set up the individual powers into motion with the aid of various methods and instructions. Owomonas is a very generous, intelligent, and well disposed towards human beings. He will always he is always willing to realize the magician's wishes as long as they are within the bounds of his possibility. This is very important. There are certain things you have to ask. It must be doing in the bounds of the possibility. If it's not possible for them to do, they either tell you they can't do it or they will refer you to somebody that can do it. Do not force them to do it. That's what sorcerers do. A sorcerer will force them. A sorcerer will call a guy like that deal with water and ask for wealth. He's like, yo, I deal with water. And say, yeah, well, the sea is loaded with wealth, but this isn't my domain. You go get them. And you are, as so-called a magician, is a representation of the Most High God Almighty. When you tell those beings to do something, they will do it. They will do it. They will do anything. And then when they go there to get the wealth, somebody possess the wealth. They're like, hey, sorry. They kill that person. They take the wealth. They brought it to you. Because you made an illicit demand. That's not their domain. You should have called somebody else that do this and send it to do that. Bekao 22, Aries. By this intelligence, the student is granted the knowledge and wisdom which applies to the zone girdling the earth. There are only a few beings of this sphere that have this ability. Bekao places great emphasis on justice and harmony, and therefore he can help the student in the physical world in every respect wherever he has to deal with justice. We need Bekao. Whether that is in a legal matter, okay, or in other situations of life. Bekao is much feared by storm spirits and salamanders because he is in a position to entrust the student with particular formulas, which, when employed, is a fire region of zone girdling the earth, can call for severe electrical and elemental effects. So Bekao is well feared. He's feared in the salamanders and the storm spirits and salamanders because Bekao can give you certain knowledge that you can use electricity to to terrify those beings. Okay, man, can you imagine how powerful the Most High is? Those are his creatures. Those are the things he created for us to learn. Do you imagine how powerful our God is, man? And I see people want, like, they know what the Most High like. They know what the Most High, the law of the Most High, and they speak great things as if they know the Most High personally. Get out of here, man. Bekao, okay, fear formulas and stuff effects. This can make even the most obstinate. Is that what that is? Obstinate, define obstinate. The most obstinate salamander spirit immediately submissive, because anything that have deal with fire, they are very proud. The sun spirit, the fire spirit, they're very proud because fire is truly the one that can hurt you. Taking like some kind of like vacuum or some kind of like air dryer and then blow it in your face, or blow somebody in the face with air, won't do anything. Throw some water and someone don't do anything. Drop some dirt upon that person, really don't want to do anything. But put that person and make that person sit upon a burning fire or upon some kind of stove, that person will get hurt because fire is very proud. That's what the salamanders, they are very proud spirit. You know, there's a pentacle, and I believe the six or seven pentacle of the sun, it's made there to repress the pride of those spirits. Yes, fire purified, probably the greatest purifier out there. Fire, extremely unstable. You would have thought water would be unstable, but it's fire. Fire cannot be contained. Obstinate, stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion or chosen course of action despite attempt to persuade ones to do so. So obstinate, very stubborn. Those salamander spirit, the fire spirit, they are quite stubborn. But if you deal with this person, they will obey. Hey man, hey, we're cool, baby. What do you want to do? Yeah, so they are very stubborn. They are very proud. Okay. When Beka rule, okay, this can make even the most obstinate salamander spirits immediately submissive. regardless of its rank. When Bekao places any being from the kingdom of the salamanders as a servant for a magician, the being stands faithfully at the student's side with his high intelligence, great intellectual activities, and with great understanding. So, yeah, the moment Bekao, they feel Bekao, man. They feel Bekao. The Bekao say, do this for him. They will just quickly do it. But if you go meet with those guys by yourself, they will be very proud. Some of them might freaking attack you. You know, it's like the two-thirds in the midst. Two-thirds are very proud. They will talk loud to you. You know, they'll do anything. But somebody say, I will cut off your help. I will do this. I will kill. I'll do. They will obey. Belifaris 23, Aries. This principle is, with the exception of the two previous ones, superior to the others in wisdom, intelligence, and keenness of mind. The student can learn from him how to employ the laws of the zone girdling the earth on the physical plane through the Akasha principle. Belifaris is only too willing to help the student in every respect. Nadel or Nadali 24. Nadali is well versed in the healing hearts, in particular with magnetism, and he reveals to the student methods through which even the most severe ailment can be cured either with magnetism or with appropriate remedies. So this guy teaches you how to cure any illness with magnetism. The earth is all magnetism. The North Pole, South Pole, the magnets, you know, you can cure anybody anywhere with magnetism. That's what he taught. Nadali is not only a physician or the physical body, he can also teach the student how to heal himself in order through the Akasha principle in every respect, in every situation of life. This principle is well liked in the kingdom of the Nom. Okay, the kingdom of the Nom is an earthly kingdom, well, so to speak, an earthly kingdom, so to speak. All right. Though through Nadali's mediations, even the kings of the Nom place themselves at his disposal. It is good, brethren, if you have the king of the Noms under your disposal. The king of the Noms, they can do a lot of things. Of course, the earth is loaded with treasures. Those things, where those treasures are nothing for those people that live in those sphere. They really don't have any use for it. For instance, seawater. Can you imagine you met an alien that come here that want to give you high-tech device, high technology for a bottle of salt water, for a bottle of seawater? Even though you stay in Kansas, you're like, oh, hey, I'll get you that. Yeah, you met this alien, came out of space with high tech and come to you, say, listen, I will give you all sort of technology that you could possibly want. All I want from you is a bottle of salt water or seawater. They cannot go get it because, one, their technology or either something we have here are not allowing them to see it, or they don't know to get it, or this thing is deadly to them. But seawater, you know, we can just say, oh, I'm living in Kansas. Okay, give me a few days. You know, either you quickly drive your car to the nearest beach you can find, or you're in the middle of the United States. You fill up a giant bucket, and then you put a gallon, and then you give them a bottle. You say, well, you asked me for a bottle. Here's a gallon. You know, this, oh man, thank you, man. This fish is very rare where we're from. Hey, it's rare here too. Remember, when you want some of these fish back, come contact your dog. Give me this technology, and then they give you the technology, and they go back to their home, and they give you a cell phone like thing to contact you, or you can contact them. For salt water, salt water is basic. You know how much salt water we have on this earth? Or some of the spirit came in, they form on the planet, there is no land, it's only air, and then they are looking for dirt. They're like, can you give us a handful of dirt? There's oh boy, here you go with Big Levi with those comic books. There's a comic book that I was reading. There's a being that came from out of space. I think he asked Bugs Bunny or one of those Looney Tunes character for a handful of dirt. And then he gave him some kind of technology. He took that handful of dirt, he went to his spaceship, and then he went to his realm. He put the pile of dirt in the machine, and the machine shoot the is that the Martian? Is that what it is? He shoot the pile of dirt in space, and the pile of dirt start to mold it. It start growing, it molded, it going, it molded, it going, it going. It turned into a giant Earth with trees and animal and everything, and then he landed a spaceship in there. A pile of dirt for you, okay, is nothing, but for them is a whole planet. He created the entire planet with it. And he lived there with his people in civilization. The planet have water. Was it Marvin the Martian? Yeah, he did something like that. Beautiful. It meant nothing to you, but to him it meant everything. That's what it is when you give those guys an anana, or you give them a bottle of water, a bottle of wine, or you give them like some kind of like a candle, or a bottle of or a little cup of coconut oil. To you it's nothing, but to them they can do all sort of thing with it. What's a bottle of water, man? I say about, let's say maximum you'll pay for a bottle of water will be $5. That's like, to hell with it. You buy a bottle of water for $5. You give it to one of those spirits that came and stuff. They took this bottle of water, they literally create an infinite amount of water wherever they came from. And then they give you some kind of huge technology here. Crazy. All right. Eromus 25, Aries. We got 5 more to go, okay? Eromus is also a master of magical knowledge. Namely, he's a master of alchemy and spagyric. The magician learns from Eromus how to process and prepare various herbs and roots in spagyric and alchemical manner, and how to make themselves exceedingly dynamic through the electromagnetic fluid and a particular kind of vaulting. See, alchemy mess with a lot of electricity. I didn't know this. If the student expresses the wish, then he receives instruction from Hieromus and accordance with which he can change causes for himself and order in the Akasha principle, so that they exert a less unfavorable influence upon the mental, astral, and at the time, even upon the physical plane. Besides that, Eromus teaches the student how to change the destiny of a person and how to perform magical operation without them being imprinted on the Akasha principle, so that they not cause counter effects. Okay, everything has an effects. Okay, counter effects. All right. Eromus is also well liked in the kingdom of the Noms and all Noms, especially those are upper classes approaches this principle with greatest awe. So it seems like the Gnome are like the one that are, I don't know, they are the one that are more friendly. The one that are very, they are very, the salamanders are very proud, the fairies are very shy, the undines are very dangerous, the undines are very cutthroat. Okay, the undines are very sneaky, they are very jealous. You know, if they're in love with the man, this man cheat with them with the women. You know the story about the Titanic, right? Did anybody remember the story about the Titanic? About Jean-Francois, you know, the story that we told about the only Haitian fell on board. But anyway, so it seems like the gnome or the one that are like really a little bit cool. Okay, all right. Yeah, most people remember this story. Again, that's not what happened. It's just, this is our legend. This is our myth. All right. All right. Yes. Adku 26. Adku is a master of mental and astral magic. He teaches the student how to practically employ extraplanetary powers in the mental, astral, and physical worlds of various purposes. Balak Man. Balak Man is an excellent initiator of synthetic. That's a synthetic, but I don't use the word synthetic here. It's the same sense we might refer to a synthetic fabric, for instance. He is referring to a system of astrology designed and developed by human intellect and conscious rather than by divine providence. Okay. Okay. Balakman is excellent initiator of synthetic astrology. All right. And and hmm, and reveals to the student the profoundest secrets of the astrological science. The magician learns through this initiator the astrological influences upon the mental and astral world. Furthermore, the student learns about the reciprocal oscillations and vibration of the various sphere in regards to the mental, astral, and physical planes. Also, knowledge in regards to cosmic effects upon the mineral, plant, and animal kingdom and communicate in the magician either directly through intuition or inspiration. Jugula 28. Jugula 28 degrees of Aries. Jugula instructs the student in the art of talismanology. You see now, brothers, all of them, they have either they have art, love, electricity, water, air, and they also have talismans. Of course, some of us call them pentacles or things like that. Jugula, actually teaches you things like that. Okay, he's a master of talisman. Okay, Jugula. The magician learns from this principle how to correctly solve even the most complicated symbol from synthetic point of view. Furthermore, Jugula instructs the student as to how he can correctly express through a corresponding symbols every power and every being belonging to the zone girdling the earth, together with his attributes, or how the magician can graphically depict the power of spirit being properly. At the same time, Jugula initiates the student into the secrets of how these symbols become magically effective through various methods. Sekab Ni 29. Sekab Ni brings about various effects on the mental, astral, and physical plane through the magic fluid. This principle is a master in the art of pleasant fragrance and can instruct the students in how not only healing remedies but pleasant fragrances can be spagirically prepared from various plants. Now, Sekab Ni is a perfumer. Is a dude that deal with smell, fragrance. Which one of you receive your perfume or your cologne yet? I have my heliotrope. I talked to one of my people over there in Paris. They're gonna send me one of those expensive heliotrope. Anybody got theirs yet? I like wearing mine. I go to a place the other day, certain things happen. I'm like, wow, those things are. I was confused. I'm like, what is it? Is it what I just activated, or is it the perfume? Okay, Princess Lily got hers. DL1 got, well, I'll take DL. All right, Tai Tai got her peppermint. Is it mint or peppermint? Okay, one brother cannot afford it. Those things are quite, yeah. Those things are quite expensive, man. They are quite expensive. Yeah, the more pricier, the best. But anyone will do. The cheapest can be do. Okay, it's just that what you need in it. You need the element, the key element that is in it. Okay, somebody have the mint. I believe mint is for the Zedekites. Ooh. I love the heliotrope so far. If you can get all 7 of them, hey, you do that. Hey, each day you wear one, that's on you if you can afford that. If you can afford it, but one of them, and that thing is $450. One of them is $770. So, yo, I don't know, man. Yeah, you have to order them from France because you can't find them like that. They are quite. You see now, brothers. Once there are certain world now, there are certain knowledge, certain world now. You see how difficult those things get. You pretty much can find perfume or cologne or whatever that is fragrance anywhere, but there are specific one you cannot find. I believe somebody was asking me if you can make them. Yes, you can. Try to get the key ingredient and make yours. Try to get the key ingredient and make yours. But the people that make those things, they know how to make it because this guy right here, Sekab me showed them how to do this. Sekab me showed them how to properly do this. Okay, Iris is for Levana Heights. Okay, Iris is quite good. I think my people over there they're gonna send me some Iris. They are quite pricey. Try to get the cheapest if you can, but if you could, get the highest. Ooh. Kalacha 30, the last one. Kalacha 30. Kalacha is the last principle of this sign of the zodiac. The magician learns from this principle how to treat various elements through the element of water. Again, there's a lot of water in Aries, man. And water water kills fire, but anyway. Kalacha is a master of hydrotherapy and gladly gives the student advice and support of this subject. Any student whose interest in the area of naturopathy finds Kalacha an excellent initiator who can entrust him through intuition, inspiration, and many secrets, which is very today not known or be unveiled. All praises to the Most High. We're done, beloved. We're done. All praises and glory. All praises and glory. All praises and glory. Okay. We're done with Aries. We had learned a thing or two. All right. Give me a second. We had learned a thing or two. Give the Most High a hand, brethren, for returning the knowledge that we had lost. Yeah. Thank you, beloved. We had learned a few stuff. It's not that much. You just learn a little bit things you probably didn't know about. If you're Aries out there, any Aries in the midst, I believe Brother Tritel is one. If you're Aries like myself, and if you want to use those things, you just draw them in red. Okay, now I'm catching on. Taurus will be next. To the Taurus in the midst, you will be next tomorrow if we have time. We will do Taurus. Okay. Now you see there are multiple principle in intelligences. Okay. To your Aries out there, that's what you got in your house. You got a lot of things in there, and you can use either you can use any houses. Okay, you can use any house, brethren. It's just over here we're trying to learn everything. We're trying to learn things in a proper way and somewhat in an organized way. For instance, what I do, what I do, for instance, I'm like Aries, fire. My element is fire, Shemeshite. I try to learn things that are in my category. Okay, I get perfume for my day. I work color for my day. I study my day. I study my sun. I study my elements. And I study my house and what is in my house, who's living in there, and what planet rule my house. That's what I study. And I advise people to, if they want, they can do the same. However, you can study any of them. But when I know myself, I know what's in my home, I know who rule my house, I know what I can do, what the Most High give me, and then I can jump to Taurus, I can jump to Virgo, I can jump to Sagittarius, Capricorn, Pisces, and I can go places and then seeing things. Okay, so you got Pisces, Midimite, you got like Taurus, Noga. It's good to know those things, and then now you know yourself, and then now you went with certain people you will encounter in your life, in the love life. You will study this person, and certain people you're working with, you will study them, and you will find out certain things that they are doing, and then it's kind of like makes sense because of who they really are. Okay, it will kind of like make sense because the way that they act, the way that they do things. All right, the way that they act, the way that they do things. Oh man, I'm truly advancing in age. It's in day and day. I cannot live without these glasses. Oh, what is this? As I'm advancing in age, my eyes are starting to failing me. Yeah. So yes. So now, when you look at yourself, you study yourself, you know thyself, and then now you can study other people. You will know other people. You will know what they can do, and you know your guardian angel. You know your demon. Now your demon really, it's not something that bothers you a lot. Now that you know you're really not interested in this guy, but you're interested in most of positive things, things that you have, the ability that you can do. Okay, we will study the so-called demons, brethren. We will study them very well. It's just we haven't been mature enough to get in. Well, I haven't been mature enough to get into the subject yet, but we will. We will study the demons. We will see why certain people are supposed to be Nogahites. Man, that person's supposed to love people, but that person turned out to be a monster. Always come after our people. Okay? We will study them. It is good to know both light and darkness. Okay, we will spend time studying the Akasha principle, the spirits that are in the element of water, the spirits that are in the element of earth, and the spirits that are in the element of air, the element of fire. We'll study them. Okay, and then we gain little knowledge, little by little. We learn and stuff. We learn, and then we put this out. Hey, I didn't know this thing. Now I know. It is good to know stuff. It is good to learn from other people. Certain people might find one of those intelligence that they like, that is not even in the house. They could be in someone else's houses. Okay, that's in the zone girdling the earth only, brothers. Okay, again, they don't give you the zone girdling Madim. Madim, they just told you there's nothing there. They say they don't exist. Because the Madimites, when you're a military person, you don't give information about yourself. So you're here because you're always either on the attack mode or defensive mode, something like that. So Noga, they have Kokav, they have the sun has, the moon has, but Madim, access denied, access restricted. Sorry to the Madimites out there, access restricted. Yeah, of course. Again, it's not like there are certain things, but he wrote the book in a way to tell you, hey, man, I can't disclose this information to you. I can't disclose it because there are certain things, brothers, once you know them, you see how certain people online you watching that mess with, oh, well, open the third eye and stuff, and this, you call this spirit. You see how they lost their freaking mind? Because they went and messed with something they don't know what it is. They simply want to sound smart. They want to sound like they know what they are doing, but they don't. That means they put their hands on something it's holy. And those things read the heart. They say they are there for clout, then they make them crazy. They lost their goddamn mind. When you watch those guys, all they talk about the consciousness of the pineal gland. You can actually see the energy that is flow in the third degree that passing this cosmic passage. You can see the pyramid and Kemet and stuff. You're like, dude, what the hell? That person lose their freaking mind because they went and messed with something. They have no idea what it is, and they're trying to use this quote unquote power to gain fame, money. Faustian, Felix Faust. Yeah. This is a Faustian deal. Anytime those guys stumble to something that is holy, they make it seems like, oh, they know everything about it. Okay, so you gotta be very careful when you see a knowledge that is somewhat holy. Okay, you read it, you study it with people that are about that life, people that want to learn. Most people here, they just want to learn. They are not here to fight. Hey, Big Levi, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I know everything. Okay, yeah, I read this passage in the Bible that say you shouldn't be studying those things because they are the devil. The devil, for some reason, some way, he find a way to write up a piece of the Bible, make sure that, hey, you don't study those things. So far, we have been reading those things. None of them say, okay, you have to wake up in the middle of the night, creeping in your neighbor's house, grab this firstborn child, cut off his head, or slit his throat, throw the blood, and smear it on you, and you'll gain power, money, you'll gain knowledge. So far, we haven't said, well, you have to do this, you have to kill, murder someone, and sacrifices. Because when someone goes something against something that they've been taught them in the church, that's what they think we are doing. Oh, those guys are doing magic. So they must have killing little babies and fetuses and eating stuff and all this nonsense, But when you start learning, you start reading, you see, wow, this is some beautiful thing, man. You're like, wow, this is beautiful knowledge. I'm really glad that I learned this thing, although I maybe probably cannot use it, but I like what I learned. I want to know more. And at one point, you will be able to do more. If we could do a lot of things with the so-called the Anana and the Pentacles, again, those things has has a lot of power in them. The other day I tried something, and then what I did something, I did an experiment, and I went somewhere. It worked very well. At first I didn't know it was this thing that was working, and when I look at the person and then I analyze what was going on, I'm like, oh shish, that's what it is. Let me put this thing away. The energy start messing around. People start tripping on things. If you go anywhere, if you activate anything, you go anywhere or any place, any restaurant, you see people, they're trying to get something, they hate their juice, spill all over, they drop their food. It's the energy that affected them. People start dropping things all over, and now realize, oh, whoa, what the hell? Let me put that thing back. And then everybody start acting normal. Wow, that thing is, I gotta put this one away because people start losing their freaking mind. So, beloved, I will leave you with peace. I will leave you with respect and love. Study as much as you can. Read as much as you can. Don't live in fear, man. Don't live in fear. Whatever is happening around the world, let it happen. You can't change that. You cannot stop this. If there's any Taurus in the midst tomorrow, hopefully the Mighty One will give us a little time. We will reconvene later and study the elements, the principles, the intelligences that are in Taurus. Of course, we know Aries is ruled by Madim and Taurus is ruled by Noga. We will be there. We will study, beloved. I will leave you with peace. Go in peace. I say fast, pray, repent, repeat. May the King reign forever. Thank you for being here with us. Uh, Brethren, I can't take call. I think my phone is doing some kind of like update, I can't take any call, unfortunately. I think Brother Jose was trying to call, and other people trying to call. I missed a call 3 hours ago. Okay, Brethren, I can't take any call. Okay, some software update it's doing. All right, I say shalom. All right.